sessions where the wrestling truth resides.
All right, so yeah, voice of Let's Wrestle, voice of Grind, voice of so many other areas.
To say the fits today are the NXT heavyweight and the NXT North American.
That's as I was introducing Ethan.
Oh, good.
Voice of so many other promotions. It is our good friend Ethan Scott is our guest tonight. There we go. I clicked the button.
Hey!
Hey guys! I apologize for the mess that is my room.
Dude,
we apologize that
for
a lot of things.
Decided that now was the time to take a nap.
I just want to take a cat nap. That's all.
Yeah.
So welcome, Ethan. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
So you're the first real interview segment that we've had where I've been in charge of interviewing, and I actually have questions and things for you that we're going to open up with. Yeah, I have notes. So I got questions and stuff that we're going to open up with. Mackenzie just messaged me. She just called Kat 10 times. He's home, so yeah, he's asleep.
Yeah, he's asleep.
Okay. Well, fuck it, we're live already. So, Ethan, take a second or like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Introduce yourself for people that will watch this and that don't really know who you are.
So, I am Ethan Scott. I am the voice of Maine Wrestling. As Levi said, I have announced for Limitless Wrestling, Let's Wrestle, Pro Wrestling Grind, Blitzkrieg Pro, NCW. I've been involved in wrestling for 10 years now. I believe I've been announcing for at least 6. And I've got to announce so many cool names: Evil Uno, Lindsay Dorado, Ethan Page, Dijak. It doesn't feel real that I've been doing this for like 10 years. But yeah, I'm gonna take my glass off because I can see the reflection of the screen. It's bothering me.
Scott, sorry. I get it. I'm going to call him a shoot name occasionally, guys. I apologize. He'll probably do it to us occasionally, too. But no, I get it. I wear my glasses at night now, and I get the same thing going on. So,
yeah.
So that's cool. Of course, I knew that, but for the audience, that's cool. So I've got 11 kind of sort of quick fire questions. Basically 11 questions that we'll run down real quick, and then we can go back and talk more about it afterwards. But we just kind of get the basic answers and then talk about it more after we're done. So,
all right.
Number one, in your own words, kind of what got you into wrestling. Like I said, I say quick fire. This one's kind of one of those ones that's on the list that's like, if it takes a little bit more time, that's fine. But yeah, number one is the biggest question at all. What got you started? What 10 years ago, what was like that thing that snapped you into it?
So I got into wrestling because of a friend of mine's older brother. He kind of would always have it on the TV and then would be playing the games, and I got into it through SmackDown versus Raw. And, as I became more of a fan, I started going to live events at the Bangor Auditorium when that was still a thing. And one year, it was SmackDown and ECW when WWE had the ECW brand and they were pairing up SmackDown and ECW to do the house shows. It was Tommy Dreamer versus John Morrison for the ECW Championship. I was like 13 at the time, and I was losing my mind. Made a big sign for Tommy, and he definitely noticed me because I'm like second row, and I wouldn't shut up. But wicked nice at the end of the match, he calls me over. He's like, "Hey, where's your sign?" I hold it up, and as I'm showing everybody, he takes off his ECW original shirt, which they didn't make to sell. It was just for that feud with ECW versus or the originals versus the New Breed. And he gave that to me. So that really, I think, kicked off I want to be a pro wrestler. It was that was really cool. And fun fact, when we had Tommy Dreamer in Limitless, I got to tell him that story. I brought the ECW original shirt and he signed it. It's actually framed right behind my monitor.
That was my first question was, do you still have it?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not getting rid of that. That's right behind my monitor. It's in a nice frame that you would put a jersey in, kind of a boxed one. It's
that's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Next question. Favorite or all-time biggest inspiration. So like favorite wrestler or your all-time biggest inspiration. It's a little bit different because you're an announcer, but do you take are there specific announcers that you take inspiration from, and who's your favorite wrestler to just watch?
So for ring announcers that are big inspiration, for when I was watching, just like I would watch Raw and SmackDown, but I started watching like 05, 06. Tony Chimmel like always stood out to me on SmackDown, the way he would do certain wrestlers, like his enunciation of their name, and like he knew when to like bring it up and emphasis on certain parts of their name. Then when I started getting into indie wrestling, obviously, you know, Randy was a ring announcer for IWE when I started. And because of him and Greenleaf telling me more about the indie scene, they let me borrow a copy of American Rana from Beyond, and I got to see Rich Palladino. And like Rich commands such a presence in the ring. Like he makes everybody seem like a main eventer. He makes every match seem like a main event match. So like those three really inspire me. For wrestlers I like to watch, trying to think, you know, just because the matches were always so brutal, Super Dragon, just because it looked like he was murdering everybody. Like I have like a couple of PWG DVDs, and there's like one match where it's like him and Generico, and I feel so bad for Generico. He's just wailing on him, just like not power bombing him through a table. He is trying to put him through the floor, and the table is in the way. And it's just like, God, I feel so bad. But like those matches were like just crazy to watch.
Well, that's the secret, is he actually was trying to use it to move the floor.
Hold on. So was Chimmel the one that when he announced the Edge, he was going rated R superstar?
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like that was like a mistake. Like I think his voice cracked.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, no, keep doing it. Yeah, it worked. Like the way, like how that ended up happening.
Like Samantha Irving now with like Chelsea Green, where she's like Chelsea, you know.
Yeah, just has fun with it.
Yeah,
that's another one. Samantha Irving is amazing. She's like my favorite ring announcer right now. Like just the emotion and the heart she puts into like every announcement. Like, oh my god, like Mania, she sold it.
Oh yeah, I know. I've worked shows with newer ring announcers. And, you know, I can tell when they're nervous and whatnot. I'm like, look, just go out there, read your card, but don't deadpan it. I'm like, have a little fun with it, you know? Like, you can see our names. Pronounce them how you think they're pronounced. If you mess them up, we're going to chuckle. If we're faces, we're going to laugh, especially. For heels, we're going to get in your face like, yeah, how dare you mess up our name? But it's all part of the show. Have fun with it.
Oh, yeah. If I always mess up, I always tell the heels, like, hey, if I mess up, just yell at me. Because I feel like I screwed up when I announced Tabernacle because, well, one, I didn't announce each individual because I forgot. I was so nervous. But I think I pronounced their location wrong, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll just yell at you," and they did. Was
it somewhere? I'm assuming it's like somewhere like Quebec or something.
Oh God, Santa Stetch.
Sent the Stetch. Oh my God!
Sent the Stetch. Yep. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck was it? Yeah, because we had one of them up.
Favorite ring announcer moments is with Triple H, when Lillian Garcia calls him the former world heavyweight champion after he loses the title.
Yeah.
And he just, you son of a and just takes off after her freaking down the ramp. It gets me every single time.
That's what I should have Larry done on Saturday. Announce you guys as the former champions after you got beat.
That's another one. Lillian Garcia was great, and you see her get better as the years go on. Because if you watch like her really early stuff, you can tell it's a little rough. But then she really comes to her own, and she's like, she was the announcer for Raw for me, and Tony Chimmel was the announcer for SmackDown. Like they really they did so well on their respective brands.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so number 3 is, I've got it written down as Dream Match. I kind of remember writing this one. So Dream Match, I wanted to split this one kind of into. So what is your Dream Match for like bigger shows, so ones that are like signed, and then Dream Match that you would love to see like come to Limitless or something, like more on the indie, like something you would. I feel like Beyond's a good reference, like something you feel like Beyond would probably book. Or Beyond, not Wrestling Open. Wrestling Open's the smaller.
I really got to think about that one because, like, I'm going to be honest. It's hard for me to watch the current product for AEW WWE because I don't have cable and I don't have a streaming service that they're on. So I'm trying to just go off of like who's around. Oh,
It also doesn't need to be. It also doesn't need to be current. I think I definitely wrote this one like of all time. So like, if you could take like one of my biggest ones that I could think of right off the top of my head is I would have loved to see LA Knight and Prime Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Ooh.
Oh, that would have been great.
In a feud
good,
for
yeah.
a couple months where they could just like go back and forth
with each other.
Exactly.
You know, just because like I guarantee you they've worked each other before, but I don't think I've ever seen one of their matches. KO and Eddie Kingston, like those two, is like that's like old school Ring of Honor, old school CZW, like those guys. It would just be such a fight. It would be so much fun. If however you could get Kevin Owens and Eddie Kingston in the same ring, that would be great.
I wish we had the normal per sessions right now, because this is where I would insert my hot
Samuel
take.
Matthews hot take.
Oh wait, is there an audio clip for it?
Oh yeah,
Cat has all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh no way.
There is an official Per Sessions clip.
We're doing the underground version of Per Sessions today.
Yeah. All right.
Raw underground.
Samuel Matthews hot take.
So for Samuel Matthews, hot take for
go ahead,
today.
Matt.
Controversially, Eddie Kingston does nothing for me. I just don't understand. I understand that everybody loves him. I understand that he's real, and all of this is just I cannot get into Eddie Kingston.
Here's my problem with Eddie Kingston. His promo work on the mic is fantastic. He sounds like a street tough from Brooklyn, New York. He sounds like a guy you're walking down the street, you hear like two construction workers in New York screaming at each other. That's what he sounds like. His wrestling style is nothing like that. He tries to wrestle like this Japanese style, and I'm just like, dude, wrestle like a brawling style. That'd be way better toward your gimmick.
I know there's a lot of people who probably heard me just say that and fucking want my head now. But it's just a reality for me. He's just one person. I have watched his stuff. I have watched some of his feuds, and I just cannot get into him.
You know, I think I saw Eddie Kingston once at a Five Guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, dude. He had a hoodie on, and he had like he like hood up with like a beanie, like he was walking head down, like hiding face, head down, and I caught a glimpse as he walked by me, and I went.
To be fair,
and I kind of watched
Kingston...
him walk up. It was towards the area that like he's from, so like I watched him walk out and into his car, and I kind of went. I think that was fucking Eddie Kingston.
Just yelled Eddie at him.
To be fair, everybody in that area looks like Eddie Kingston. So,
all right. Let's let our guest have a word in here, edgewise.
So the reason I like Eddie so much is it's not a gimmick. Like that's really him, and like that's why his promos are so real. He's speaking from the heart. It's like I've sent promo clips to like my friends who aren't wrestling fans at all, and I'm just like, this is why I fucking love Eddie Kingston. It's like he puts his heart on his sleeve. He puts all of his emotions in what he's saying, and yeah, his promo style and his in-ring style don't really mesh, but like he's very heavily inspired by Japanese wrestling. Like they were talking about that on AEW, and he said like I would stay in and just watch all these old tapes and would just study them over and over and over. And like that's what saved my life. Like while my friends were going out and like getting in trouble, like I was at home watching these because I was hooked. And like, you can tell like everything is very authentic with Eddie Kingston. And that's why I love him so much. It's like, it's that authenticity that like draws you to him.
That's legit. I actually have a good dream match. I just thought about this. Actually, I don't know if it'd be good, but it'd be funny as hell to watch. The Road Warriors in their prime, back when they came out to Iron Man, like the NWA days, versus the Young Bucks.
Oh, That could be fun. That could be fun just because you have the two smaller guys just trying to really make it
do something.
Yeah.
The Warriors are like death.
Oh
I can
my
just
god.
imagine. I can imagine them calling that the Young Bucks like super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick, and the Road Warriors just looking like.
That was a super kick.
All I can imagine is they try to get like Hawk or Animal for the more bang for your buck, and then at the last second they reverse it so that way one of the Jackson brothers hits the other one, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, we got it." Turns around, it's just like Hawk is standing right behind him, staring at him. He's like, "That was my brother I just hit." Shit.
I'm gonna die.
Yep, that would have been great.
My death is intimate.
But as for like say like a dream match for like say Limitless or like Beyond or like Grinds, oh man, I really got to think on that one of like who's where and like who was I thinking of? Yo. Yes, cat in a catnap. Yes, Calvin Tankman and Alec Price for Limitless.
Ooh.
Like I first found about Calvin Tankman thanks to Bizarro Lucha, and dude's just a hoss, but he's quick, and I think that'd be really fun to see someone of like his size and speed against Alec. Like,
I feel like for
fun.
smaller shows, I feel like it's way less likely to happen now, but at the same time, it's way more likely. And I think everybody, I'm going to say this out loud, and everybody's going to be like, "Yeah, we knew it." But I've always wanted. I want Henry versus Malachi.
Yep.
Black versus Roger Strong was fucking amazing. I want Henry.
I'm neither shocked nor surprised.
And that's what I mean. Everybody knows I was going to say that, but I feel like I want modern day Henry versus modern day Jay Freddy too, because I feel like they haven't mixed it up in a long time. Like I know they wrestled way back for Limitless, but I feel like they haven't really mixed it up in a long time. And I feel like modern day Henry versus modern day Freddy would be fucking awesome.
Hold on, Scrunch. Wasn't that the match where Freddy blew out his knee?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it was his knee. I think it was an ACL.
Yeah,
but it was Henry.
Yeah,
Henry versus Freddie for the Grind Championship, and he got injured.
Yeah.
That match was it was fucking good.
Yeah. It was really good. I just wish I wish they could they would have been able to finish it the way that they had planned to finish it, because it was so good. And then Freddie tore, and Grant had like Henry fucking 100% protected Freddie like during the rest of that. And it's just I wish they would have been able to finish it completely out, because it would have been a 5-star.
It was so good.
It was so good.
Like Freddie was fucking killing it as champ, like against everybody. And hopefully, I want to see him versus Mike Skyros.
Skyros
when Brian picks back up again.
Skyros punched me in the face last time I saw him.
Why?
That's great.
So I was running. It was one of the times I went to a grind show, and I was running security because Rick gave me a shirt and he was like, "You're on security now," and I was like, "Okay." And it was during the Skyros Troy feud, and it was it was the show right before they actually wrestled. So they had this big like pull apart thing where Troy got up from the commentary desk and like came after Skyros and Huckabee. So there was like a bunch of security that piled out to separate the two. And I went over to Skyros to separate him, and he was swinging his arm, so his arm just fucking swung around and he clocked me in the eye, like across the face.
Nice.
And so the next time I saw him, I was like, "You punched me in the face last time I saw you, you fucker." And he's like, "I did?" No, and yeah, you punched me while I was... Well, the thing was, everybody went to Troy. Nobody went to Skyros. That's what happened. Everybody else went to Troy, and nobody was on Skyros. So he started bum rushing Troy because none of the security went over to him. So I was the solo fucking guy pushing Skyros back.
And Skyros is is a fucking beefy dude. So
he's not small.
He's not.
He was like, "I did." It's like, "Yeah, you punched me in the face when I was holding you back at Grind." And he was like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "Dude, I get hit for a living. I'm in this business too. I really don't."
Oh my god, I didn't realize he clocked.
Oh yeah, he clocked me. Oh,
That's
you know, I was just
funny.
thinking about Grind, and real quick, another match I would have loved to see is would have been, and this probably happened. I just probably have never found it, but Bounty Hunter Keith versus Henry. I feel like would have been a really fucking good match. I
That
feel
would've
like
been good.
that had to have happened.
For somewhere, it must have.
It's got to
Oh,
have
yeah.
happened somewhere.
There's no way that.
But I just thought
that's
about that while we were
fast.
talking about Grind. So, okay, so on to question 4. That one was a little longer. On to question 4 is the worst bump that you've ever. I mean, I know that you've taken some bumps before, so the worst bump that you've ever taken, and also the worst bump that you've ever seen, because I know that you haven't. You're not a big one to bump. So.
Okay, so I'll do the worst one I've ever taken, and
I think I know which one this is.
Dylan was there for it, so it was
Yeah.
at the dojo, and we're learning how to do sunset flips. And I figured, like, I was like the first one to go.
First or second?
I was first or second to go, and I'm like, I didn't like walk into it and like pretend to like go to do the motion a couple times. I'm like, I fucking got this, because I think I was like, when I was training, I was on a roll, and I'm like, oh, I can do this. Like, nothing can stop me. I got this. And I jump, and I didn't grab Chris, and I go forward, and I land on my head. I skid across the canvas. I like scorpion myself. I hear my neck pop, by the way. And in the court, as I'm like sliding across the canvas, I see out of the corner of my eye Alexander Lee pop up. I've never seen him move that fast in my entire life. And I roll through it. I pop up in like a fighting stance and turn around and smile on my face. I'm like, I'm good. And you guys all looked like I just got like electrocuted.
We thought you were hurt, so all of a
I
sudden,
was fine. Worse, like my neck didn't hurt. Like I like Alexander Lee did a concussion test, like checked my neck, and I was fine. Worst part about the whole thing, other than like the rug burn on my forehead, was my wrist. Because I think when I rolled through, I rolled through it weird. So like that was what hurt the most, not my fucking neck.
Yeah.
Like that was scary. And I'm like, I'm never doing those again. Never.
That's always the way it happens too. It's never the thing that like you think would hurt. It's always some random thing. Like I'll go a match, I'll get like, I'll take a stupid bump and like that doesn't hurt. But like I stepped weird and rolled my ankle slightly.
Yeah, you like got up through a roll and you tweaked your knee. It's
yeah.
Just reminds me of when I was taking Maverick's Black Hole Slam. I was still very early on. We were doing a tag match, and this is on the dojo page for everyone to see. Like everybody's seen it. But I ran into Maverick's Black Hole Slam, and I didn't swing my legs out. So I ran in, and fucking he swung me around for the black hole, and I landed, and my right leg bent up under me. So like it bent and like touched my left butt cheek. And you could see it in the camera. And it was a tag match, and our thing was it was a blind tag. So Amber was the ref, and she immediately goes to check on me, and like Maverick's pinning me. So she starts counting, and then I looked over at her, and I was like, no. And then she like stopped and stood up, and she's like, no count. It's a tag. And I was like, what do you mean tag? And I was like, oh my God. It looked gross. And I popped right up and I was like, I'm good. I don't know how my leg bent that way, like, because there's footage, but I was like, I'm good.
It's like when I blew my ribs up in my debut match just because I got over ambitious on the post. Cracked 2 ribs.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oof.
That was fun.
The worst bump I've seen that comes to mind, it was early Let's Wrestle. It was one of our cluster jams. It was Sierra and TJ Crawford, and Sierra was it Sierra
Poison Rana.
Yeah, but was Sierra on top?
Actually,
Yeah, she was on top.
TJ was giving
tonight at the dojo.
Yeah,
TJ gave it to her.
Yeah, but she scorpions.
Yeah, she folded in half.
Yep, and she landed on TJ. Yeah, because TJ gave it to her. She scorpioned. It was terrifying because it's like we got her out of the ring. Like I think she ended up going to the hospital. After in the middle of the show, like after that match, and it was just. Like everyone, her whole carload stayed with her the entire time, from what I heard. It was just like she ended up being fine. It could have been a lot worse, but like I think she was still probably a little shell shocked from it.
So if I remember that match really well, Obro. Oh, there's Kyle per sessions now.
Brother,
Obro, and a couple others. I remember Owen Brody especially rolling out and grabbing Sierra and literally dragging her out and keeping her down with him and another person for the match, while three of them quick call the finish. So
Oh, yeah, that's like the worst bump I've ever seen. It was terrifying. Oh man, that is the reason I hate Poison Ranas. Like, if you could do them like perfectly fine, like I'm still gonna cringe every single time.
Yeah.
Like, nope, that can go so bad. I've seen it happen.
yeah, I think what happened honestly is just the way it looked rewatching it when I've rewatched it once or twice. Is I don't know if she just didn't jump and flip enough with it, or if TJ didn't go around enough with it. I don't know what happened.
It was scary. It was terrifying, and I hate Poison Ranas with a passion because of that moment.
Yeah,
So
I see.
Such
I
a
saw
cool
my
looking
first
move when done
live.
right.
I saw my first live Poison Rana at Marlon Bishop Shopping Block the couple weeks ago, and it was during the main event. It was for the women's championship, and those ladies put on a hell of a show. And fucking they got up to the top rope, and one gave the other a Poison Rana, and I went, oh my! It looked like, because she like folded and skidded and fell. It looked fucking gross. And it was a falsie. Like they went for the pin and it was a falsie. They kicked out of like 2 and fucking like that much by 3. And I went, what? That the match, I gushed about this match last pod too. The match was fucking amazing. Those women deserved the main event that night. It was fucking awesome. But that Poison Rana, I talked to the girl afterwards and she was like, yeah, I heard my neck pop on it. I was like, I could tell you heard your neck pop on it.
Yeah.
Let's bring our guest back in too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There he is.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hey. Sorry. Again.
Wait a second. I know that backdrop. I took that picture.
Oh,
The picture you guys were using for the backdrop. I remember. I took that.
Don't say you guys. I didn't have any control over the backdrop. That was the default backdrop that came in when we started the podcast.
I mean, I think it's great.
So
I don't know why they keep still posting, but
back, I've deleted all the posts that said we were off of or on my channel. So
yeah.
We'll jump right back into the interview segment with question 5. What is your favorite indie show that you have worked on or that you have seen? Like maybe you've just gone to or you've seen on like IWTV and the favorite one that you've ever announced for.
Oh man.
Or most fun. I guess favorite's a little bit of a strong word, so you don't really want to pick favorites.
Yeah.
But, like what's been the most fun that you've had at like because I know that you've announced for a few like more laid back shows that are kind of been more like fun out in the ring, just kind of chilling.
Yeah. Man. Favorite indie show that I've been to. Oh, that's really hard to pick. It really is hard to pick. Like, all right. So the most fun I think I've had at a show. First one that pops to mind was like Blitzkrieg Luau, because it's that vibe of that whole show. It's just backyard party, like everybody's wearing like horrible Hawaiian shirts and lays they got from like Party City. It was a lot of fun. Favorite show I've worked. I gotta say, like, probably any of the Let's Rumbles. You know what? The Let's Rumble when we came back from COVID.
Oh man, that was fun. Yeah, I remember that.
That was great. That was like so many emotions because like we got to see so many people that we hadn't seen in a couple of years. Like, there's that picture I share it every now and then. It's me and McCarthy.
Yeah,
where I give it like he comes into the ring. I'm like holding it together, announcing him. He looks at me. He's like, "You look like you're gonna cry," and I'm like, "I am crying a little bit." And he just comes over and gives me a hug. It's like it was the first time I had seen him in years.
Mm-hmm.
So like that always sticks with me because like the Let's Rumbles are always fun. I'm a big fan of Rumble matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like you could like that one. I think it like sticks out the most.
That might have been the one where I dropped Alex Price on his head.
I was gonna say if it's the one that I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure it was my first Let's Wrestle show that I'm thinking of because I feel like I remember seeing the McCarthy. I remember seeing the McCarthy thing live. Because I remember seeing that, and it was shortly into my stint of training.
Was that at Hermon?
Yeah, that was the
Yes,
show
it was.
that was the show
Okay.
that Green and Alec eliminated. It was you, right?
Me.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
both got.
I
got super
separated
kicked
them.
and went out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AG super kicked me and they threw me out. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a cool moment in my book. I love that
I
moment.
mean, you have that moment too
Yeah.
as a moment forever. I
I'm
mean,
like,
I have
hey-
to say, not because I'm trying to like kiss ass or anything, but I've said it from the very beginning. I love grind. I love pro wrestling grind. I love their ring. I love their setup. I love their title. I don't care. Their grind's heavyweight title is one of the prettiest titles I have seen anywhere.
Oh, it's
Like,
gorgeous.
I
bro.
love Grind's title. It is so pretty. So it's not me trying to kiss ass, but I will 100% admit I have had nothing but good experiences all the times that I've gone to Grind. I love pro wrestling Grind.
So if I have to put my favorite indie show I've ever been on to go with this, Fenway. I have to go with Fenway.
Oh,
yeah,
that was
Fenway.
so much fun.
Fenway was pretty fucking cool.
Come on,
It
it
was
was
fun.
so cool as a Red Sox fan too, for me to be wrestling in Fenway Park, the oldest
Fenway
baseball
was-
park in America.
Fenway was pretty fucking cool.
And we came out with the Seawolf with Thunderstruck. The crowd was smoking hot.
Mhm.
There's a picture of me hugging Ethan, which is great. I still love that picture.
Yeah, that's great.
And it was just that moment is just in my mind. If I retired tomorrow, that still would be my favorite moment.
I
That was a lot
think
of fun.
to this date, it's the coolest thing I've gotten the opportunity to do in my 3-year stint of being in wrestling thus far is when we wrestled at Fenway, and I got to do it with you guys, which makes it even better. Right? We got to wrestle cool, like we got to wrestle really good opponents, and it was super easy match, and I got to do it with you guys, so that makes it even better.
It literally just popped up in my memories like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
so.
because it literally happened. It happened a year ago, like 2 days ago. Because
Really?
June, June a year ago was Fenway the week before my birthday, and then it was Matt and Muscle on my birthday. Because my June last year was stacked full, but it was Fenway, and then it was the Matt and Muscle show on my birthday. They were
Wasn't
back to back
there-
weekends.
Wasn't there a Mojo at the Dojo the day before? There was something the day before you guys all went to Fenway.
Actually, it might have been
Yeah,
one
That
of
was a
those.
Let's Wrestle show.
I'm-
It was
I'm-
it was Let's. It was
Yup.
it was Dover-Foxcroft, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Nope.
No.
Day before, it was the Let's Rumble I think the one I just mentioned. No, wait.
No,
No,
'cause-
this wasn't. This was way farther than that. If it
Oh,
was,
Oh
Let's-
no, this was last year's Let's Rumble. It's like I looked it up because I do those
okay,
posts
yeah,
where
I knew it was a Let's
Yeah.
show.
that's the one that Maverick won.
That's one where we squished Maverick in the corner with Big Cat.
Oh yeah, that's got one of my favorite Let's Wrestle moments where we all squished Maverick in the corner, and then I looked at Big Cat and I was like, "Hey, that was cool," and then I kicked him in the head. One of my favorite impromptu Rumble moments. That and when
One of
Jess-
my favorite like group moments I wasn't even a part of. I've only seen, but it was when Big Cat took your diving stomp.
Wait, which one? You talking about the SuperNova one where
SuperNova.
everybody held him out?
Where everybody held him down and he had the no.
No. I think one of my favorite the Big Cat kick to the head, and then the moment at SuperNova during the Rumble Lumberjack thing where Spencer had me in the corner and he ran out and he came running back in, and then I slid out of his way so he ate the buckle. And me and Jess had I had just gotten in, and me and Jess were like lighting people up together, and we were having so much fun. And Spencer ate the buckle, and I turned around, and I have a picture of it, and Jess is just going, "Did you do that?" And I looked at her, and the picture is literally me going, "No, I didn't do that." And Jess just goes, "Wham!" and fucking chopped the shit out of me. And I was like, "Okay, I did it. I'm sorry."
Yeah, if you've never eaten a Jesse Nolan chop, you're lucky, by the way.
she's thrown me across the ring before when we were at the
Yes.
dojo when we were doing like a weird like practice rumble, and she comes in, grabs me, and just goes jump. I go okay, and just throws me across the ring. I just roll.
Not like
Yo.
me throwing you, but like she just yeeted him.
Yeah, it wasn't a suplex. It was just like get the fuck
So-
out of here and threw me. It was funny.
All right, moving on. Favorite wrestling move or finisher of all time? What is your favorite move and finisher?
Move. I'm gonna go with move and finish the gore. Like
Mm,
the gore, just rhinos hit different there's a clip I found on YouTube. I could never find it again. It's him and Kid Cash and ECW, and he gores him so hard.
Levi, your mic's still on.
Sorry.
He gores him so hard. He like flips inside out and lands like face first.
Actually,
it was disgusting.
I saw something the other day. It was an interview with Rhino, and they're like him talking about the gores, and he's like, no one's ever kicked out of the gore. And people are like, but what about the spears you hit where they kick out? He's like, that's not a gore.
Yeah, if they kick out, it's not a gore.
Yeah.
The gores put people away. Spears don't. Yeah, Rhino's gore, man. Like it's just all that power into one quick motion.
I stood up to go get this, and I knocked my webcam over.
Oh, that's sick.
So why we can't have nice things?
I was gonna say, I know for a fact Ethan's got a signed picture of Rhino.
I do. It's back there. I need to get some. I need to get a frame for it.
I need to cut the bottom of this off because it's the school that I started in that was owned by the piece of shit that gypped me out of $800. So I need to cut the bottom of this off because but I keep forgetting to. But yeah, this is like one of the only actual signed pieces where I met the guy, and not only did I meet him, but I got to train with him. My first time ever stepping into a ring was during a Rhino seminar. I had never actually touched a ring before, and the first time I ever stepped into a ring was a Rhino seminar. And I even got to lock up with him, and he taught me kind of the basics during the seminar. There's a picture somewhere of me and Rhino locked up, which
dude is massive.
Oh yeah, he was fucking huge.
He's like 5'10", but he's wide as fuck.
Oh yeah. He's fucking huge.
He's a big dude. Like
he's 5'10", but he's 4'3".
Yeah.
Like and that's what I think made him, in my eyes, just so vicious, and because just of the speed he had with his size, like I loved what they did with I wish they did a little bit more. I wish they pushed him a bit more when he was aligned with like Edge, Christian, and Kurt Angle, because you had that weird group. They weren't a faction, but like Rhino was their heavy, and like Kurt was their like silly buddy.
Yeah,
which saying Kurt Angle as a silly buddy is just weird.
Yeah, but he made it work.
Oh, he did. He did so good.
Sam, stop yawning.
I'm sorry, man.
All right, so I skipped one.
Baby.
What is the longest distance you've ever driven for a show? I know that you've done some pretty fucking long, and I know that. So maybe for you, longest ridden distance.
Yeah.
Not really driven, but I know you've done some pretty fucking far away shows. So
I think the longest one. So there's two. There was either the NCW COVID tapings that you, me, and Connor Hex. I had to remember his ring name, Connor Hex. I feel because that was in Rhode Island, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, Connecticut's. I always forget Connecticut's further than Rhode Island.
Jess is showing Connecticut. Just in Blitzkrieg. Yeah.
Blitzkrieg. Because we did. I rode with. It was me, MSP. We had the three of us left Maine. Went to go get Alec. Then we had to go get Beef. Or no,
Beef was wrestling. Yeah.
No, there was one where it's me, MSP, and Alec.
Yeah.
And we go down. We go down to Blitz, and then we have to come back up because there's a show the next day in the area. So we did because it's like 6 hours down and 6 hours back. So we were like on the road for like total of 12 hours. And I remember, I think we're like almost home. Sun's rising. I think Amber's driving, Alex in the front, and then Agro's with me, and just a swerve, and because there's like a dead deer on the road, we swerve, and then I see Jossie just next to me just goes, I go, morning, we almost did a dead deer. That was definitely the longest, because like just down and back, like because usually whenever we did Blitzkrieg, we crashed with somebody, and this was the first time I think we did a down and back, and it was so long, but it was worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
That reminds me of
I think my favorite road story will always be coming home from grind with you, Ethan. When we were it was the grind that we. I think it was the same grind that Jake tore his ACL out. because it was the grind that we were coming back, and I had fallen asleep like 30 minutes prior, and then there was a FedEx truck, I guess, that was fucking like flying, and he like swerved in front of Randy, and that huge chunk of ice came off and like smacked Randy's car, and I sprung awake like, what the fuck? And you just looked over at me, and you're like, and there was some ice. It was like,
oh my god, yeah, I forgot about the ice part. I thought you were talking about something else that happened, but I'm like, yeah, there's a reason I don't sleep on car rides, man.
I don't
sleep on car rides. Like I gotta stay awake.
I don't know if technically, I feel like grind has probably been the farthest I've driven. I don't know. Is Vermont technically further? Because we did go to Vermont. And
Western Mass is definitely further.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I feel like the grind shows that I've gone to are the furthest I've ever traveled for a show.
Levi,
unless you count the fact that I'm 12 states away and I've wrestled shows. So Levi, technically,
the reason Vermont felt so damn long is because we were stuck in traffic for an hour and a half.
That's true. We did get stuck in traffic for literally almost 2 fucking hours.
Yeah.
Luckily, we were working the neighborhood, so we showed up and they were like, yeah, we're doing this, this, and this. And we were like, okay, cool. So we're going to do this and this and this. And they were like, cool, that's the match. And then we went out like 20 minutes after. We were like, fuck yeah.
Literally, we're pulling on gear, calling the match, like, we're doing this and this.
They had the fucking match plan. They were just like, there's this spot, and this spot, and then like general heat. We were like, okay, so we can do this, this, and this. And I've said it plenty of times. I still, to this day, that's my favorite match we've ever done is Seawolves.
Monty actually said that's one of his favorite matches, too.
Yeah, as the Seawolves, that was one of my favorite matches that we ever done. It was stupid simple. It was fun. The crowd was super engaged, and Monty killed us with a moonsault. So
that's one where I cut the promo on how the town sucked.
Yep.
TP. Probably my furthest drive is I've told this story. It's the MSPB story. That is the furthest
I love that story.
Yep. That is the first because that was to Jersey, and that's the one where literally we pulled into the parking lot, and I'm on the pre-show match, and I'm pulling on my gear like going down the stairs, and I get up to the 4 guys. It's a dojo showcase match. It's not just me, but it's 3 of the dojos, and it's Ryan Mooney, Angelo Carter, and Angelo Carter and Anthony Gamble. And literally, I went, yeah, okay, I'm going to do this, 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 and I'll take the finish. And everyone's like, cool, all right. Then we went out and did the match.
You know what's wild? Speaking of Ryan Mooney, love him. He's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I was so bummed the grind show I missed. He got a Mania entrance where he came out in a fucking dog kennel.
Oh, Jesus
on a cart. He got like a Mania style entrance. I'm like, this is great. I was so mad I missed that show. Right. But what's wild is when Ring of Honor came to Lewiston at the Coliseum, the opening like kind of dark match, it was Ryan Mooney versus Anthony Green. Yeah. And I didn't realize it was Ryan until like I was talking to him about it. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry. There was no way you were going to be the babyface of that match. You were the AG country. He's like, yeah, I know.
He was Ryan Nova back then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he was one of Cheeseburger's. Because there was like a trio.
Yeah.
That's still wild.
It was so funny because like I remember meeting him and I'm like, man, I recognize you. And I was like thinking about it. Like, wait, Lewiston. He's like, yeah, I wrestled there. I was like, yes, I know. I was at that show.
Favorite entrance music.
Ooh.
Question 10. Favorite entrance music. I mean, on the down low, we all know that it's the Seawolves entrance music, but what's your actual?
I mean, favorite? I do dig it.
That was Alexander Lee. He literally. I don't remember what we used. We used for like 2 shows, and there was one show that Alexander Lee was on, and then the next day, I guess, he like texted Dylan a link to the song, and he was like, use this.
Yeah,
like, you are using this, and Dylan sent it to me, and I was like, okay, I guess we're using it because I'm not arguing with him.
Oh, no, it was. I actually asked in our. We have another chat. It's called Loja World Order, as in Robert Loja. Yeah, Robert and Loja. I actually asked in that chat. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out music for us. I'm like, Ben, what the hell do I use? He's like, hold on. 5 minutes later, he's like, use this, and I was like, yeah, okay.
It was perfect because the band is called Wolfheart, so it was like it was the perfect name for a band.
The song was called The Hunt, and it worked.
It was The Hunt. It was perfect.
So, one thing that pops into my head is the main events theme. Is it just gets stuck in there? It's got such a good beat. Like, I love how they enter. I love how they walk out to it because they like walk with the beat. that's one of my favorites. Like that's on my playlist. Like when I was going to the gym, I'd always throw that on. It would just help me get through the treadmill.
Have to admit, MSP's theme is still
Drip Drop was so good, and I also like Heathens.
I was gonna say to this day, the first time they switched to Drip Drop, like I get they're doing a whole new thing and everything, but man, did I miss Heathens.
Yeah.
It's like that show that Jess and I came out to it, and the crowd was just like, "What?"
Yeah.
So, Sam, Kat, what are your favorite themes?
Voices.
That Voices is always a good choice.
Oh,
And
jeez. Go ahead, Chad.
Shining
Sorry.
Bright.
What's the cat?
Oh, jeez. Let's see. There's a bunch of them. Right now it's currently the Fire, I think it's called, the CM Punk's old theme song.
This Fire Burns.
This Fire
Yeah.
Burns, yeah. And then
baby.
the OG of Randy Orton's music.
Burning Bright.
Yeah, Burning Bright. That I like that.
Hey, nothing else to
Yeah,
say.
As well as Triple H. I like Triple H's original before the game music too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Dying
hit
Seagull
that
music?
Yeah.
Triple H shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's dope.
The Dying Seagull music.
Oh,
I was thinking of I think it was Joe Hendry, the music.
Dude, I've Ethan, I've done that at 2 shows now where I've been playing music, and literally I'm like, I wonder if everyone will do it. He'll play, like, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Boom, boom, and the entire everyone out there will do it. I'd slap my ass off.
Well, at the Let Show, I think that this picture, this backdrop is from. Zach Burton stopped by just to hang out with everybody. And I'm like, if I can get anybody with this, because the room was full of people. So I just say, hey, Zach, who's that guy in TNA who does like the parody music? And he's like, Joe Hendry. And then I immediately play the song. And I eventually got Randy with it too. And Randy was like, the fuck? Like, I think it just went by so quick. It kind of went over. And he was focused on a million other things. So he was just
hate it so much.
I love it.
I actually do. No, I actually do. It drives me fucking insane. I'm good. Like, I'm glad that he's making it work. It's good for him, but it literally drives me fucking insane. I hate that it's a thing now.
I love it.
It's
it beat
like
Taylor Swift in the UK.
I don't know why. I don't know why it bugs me so much. But as soon as it started becoming a thing, I immediately was like, I fucking hate this. It's so fucking stupid.
I get that because there's a song by a band called D-Light called "Groove Is in the Heart." I hate that song with an ever-loving passion, and I do not know why.
I don't know why. It just I hate it. I have to say, I literally was just singing it as soon as I thought of entrance music, and I had to look it up to remember who it was. But Stone Cold's theme.
The Disturbed version?
I'm sorry, but Stone Cold's theme just immediately. I just started literally like bobbing my head, and I was like, I literally just looked up Brock Lesnar's theme because I thought it was Brock Lesnar's theme, and I was like, this isn't it. And then it clicked in my mind, and I was like, Stone Cold. Finn Balor's theme, I will always love. And honestly, LA Knight's theme is a bop too.
Yeah, it's kind of growing on you. So for modern WWE, probably Finn Balor's a good one. Rhea Ripley's new song definitely grew on me. I like the original version of Brutality, but the new one with Motionless in White grew so much on me so quick. Yeah.
My demons in your dreams.
And if I'm gonna go back to like my favorite genre, of course, is ECW. So we got War Machine for Taz, and then honestly, even Taz's WWE theme was really a banger. But I'm sorry, Alice in Chains, Man in the Box, Tommy Dreamer,
so
and Perfect Strangers, Deep Purple for Shane Douglas, man.
When I got to play Man in a Box when we had Tommy, I got goosebumps because
I couldn't even say hi to him. I was so nervous I couldn't say hi to him. Like I'd be fine. Now I'd be fine. I'd be like, Ricky Morton came and I was like, hey Ricky, pleased to meet you, blah blah blah. Shook his hand. Him and Kerry were great. Not a problem. Any big name now I have no problem with. Something with Tommy Dreamer, I couldn't talk to him.
I have a feeling I'm gonna be like that next month. Excuse my pronunciation of his name, but I can't pronounce
Minoru Suzuki.
Him is going to be he's
Murder
coming
Grandpa.
in for Yeah, he's coming in for Lucha Libre and Laughs for a Lucha Libre and Laugh show, and I set up for I helped with ring because they rent Primo's ring, so I helped with ring setup, and I talked to Nick, the owner. I talked to him at the last show when I hung around and caught up with Lindsay because Lindsay Dorado was at the last show, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm bringing him back in. He's here like all the time. He's one of my like regulars that I tend to bring in a lot." And I was like, "You're bringing who in?" And I was like, wait, you're bringing, and he's like, yeah, he comes in. He's like, I got to take him out for sushi next time he's in because the last time he was here, I took him out for like pizza. And he was like, no, next time I come, we go out for sushi. We go for sushi. And he's like, I don't know if he was ribbing me or what, but I'm finding a sushi place around here because I'm afraid to not bring him out to sushi when he comes here.
Kill you.
Speaking of bangers for theme music, though, Suzuki's music.
He's someone that I would love to announce someday. And to hear the crowd sing his theme while in the middle of the ring, I would get goosebumps. I might cry. Like it's such a moment. Like hearing,
I know he's coming, and I know he's coming, and I'm just like, shit.
Oh,
you're gonna have so much fun.
One last theme song, and this is a total mark, but Kingdom.
Honestly, I'm singing Cult of Personality in my head right now, so we're gonna do Mark songs. I got Cult of Personality.
As far as Kat didn't say that, actually.
Well, he said Punk's old music, so
I'm surprised you didn't say Cult of Personality.
Cult of Personality is good, but the OG, This Fire Burns, it's pretty damn good.
It's built different.
Last question in the interview question segment, Ethan Scott. What is your favorite title belt of all time? AEW, WWE, Indie, whatever, ROH, TNA, whatever it is. Favorite title belt of all time. What is your number one?
So, my number one, and I feel like I'm kind of, I'm going to say two of them, and I feel like I'm alone on one of them. One of them is the ECW Championship. Like with with the purple letters and the blue globe and the blood and the barbed wire. I've always loved that one. But one I feel like I'm always kind of like, alone on this one is the Intercontinental Championship, like the oval one that like Sheldon Benjamin held, Chris Jericho held, Jeff Hardy held. Like that one, I've always loved the shape of that design because it was different from everything else. Like those two are my favorites. But that IC title, that is the IC title for me.
Yeah.
Okay, that one.
Yeah, that one. I've always liked it. I like when belts do different shapes. Like, and if the shape makes sense, because some belts you look at and it's just like that just looks fucking weird.
It's kind of like that.
Are we talking
how weird that is right
this
there.
This one or this one?
Yeah.
Oh, either one.
Either one. Okay.
Either one.
As I opened it, I was like, okay, that one.
Either one of those. But yeah, I've noticed a lot more belts are doing like the big round plate. That one is weird because it's very rare you see the strap not conform to the shape of the plating. So that one just looked odd. It's good. It looks like an old school belt. I
do love the North American Championship.
Yes, it's
make sure it stays.
Yes, so it doesn't hit you in the back. But it that one was weird at first, but I feel like it's grown on everyone.
It's grown on a lot of people. It's grown on me. So
I feel like I could relate to the being alone on one because I have one that's definitely in like my top 10 that I feel like I'm alone on anytime I mention it, and it's the hardcore title from like the 80s, like the broken duct tape together hardcore title. I feel like I'm always alone when I say that, but I fucking dig the hardcore. I told Dylan that if we ditched one of the titles that the company shall not be named, but if we ditched one of our tag champs, I was literally gonna bust the title and make it into like a scrap together fucking hardcore title just because of how much I love that title.
If I'm gonna go with a belt that no one else likes, but I find is really, really aesthetically pleasing, TNA, one of their first big, they had like their version of a big gold, and it just said TNA across it, and there was it wasn't in silver, but it was almost a blue, but it wasn't blue, but it was like a silver blue. It's really hard to describe, but that belt was gorgeous. It's one Bobby Roode held, James Storm held. I love that belt.
I gotta look that one up.
I want to say I know. It's this one.
So
it's
well, as soon as you bring it up, I'll tell you if yes or no.
This one?
Yes.
Oh, it's not bad.
This one, rather.
I love that belt for some stupid reason. I don't know why I like it so much, but I think it's a gorgeous belt.
I don't even recognize
it. Looks like a championship belt.
It's cool. I don't recognize it. It's definitely cool.
I definitely see the inspiration for the big gold.
Yeah.
That was so the one with the eagle you just showed. That was their version 2. The silver one's the version 3.
Like it. Yeah. I was gonna say this looks good. I like this.
I love that belt.
I kind of like the silver on it because it makes the lettering pop. Yeah. Like that's what I love with like the Limitless World Championship and the Grind Grand Championship.
Yeah.
Is that the title, like the words on the belts are a different color than the plating, so that way they all stand out.
Everything pops.
Yeah, like the big gold belt, all the lettering, like it's just a big gold belt. So like I feel like that one gets a pass, but I feel like when all of the designs on it are all the same color, it just melts together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we're keeping Sam up.
I'm so sorry, guys. I am so sorry.
Oh, should we had like a yawn?
Maybe you should have taken a nap like I did, apparently.
Dude, here's the worst part.
I'm trying not to beat myself up too.
Twice.
I know.
You called him twice. Mackenzie called him 10 times.
11
I
times.
messaged you twice.
I know. I'm trying not to beat myself up.
I apologize, Cap. But we were at the point where Dylan even went. We should have just called Mackenzie, or we should have just texted Mackenzie. And I was like, it got to the point where I was like, you know what, fuck it. And I texted her, and I was like, are you home? She's like, no, I'm not. Why? And I was like, because we can't get a hold of Kat.
And of course, she would have been home, but she's out tonight, hanging out with friends. She would have shaken the shit out of me at 9:30, being like, "You need to go now." But no,
Sam literally was like, before we decided we were going live on my channel, Sam literally went, did she get back to you? And I was like, no, because I guarantee, because I've stayed at Kat's house enough that I know. It's like, because I guarantee Mackenzie is currently spam calling the shit out of him, because when he doesn't answer her, she just continuously calls him until he fucking answers.
I apologize again. I'm trying not to beat myself up, but I am. I'm sorry, Ethan, too, because
it gave me time to eat.
Well, that's good.
There we go.
You could have ate on the stream, though, because that's what Levi likes to do.
What? You know what, motherfucker? I ate dinner early today. I had dinner at 5 o'clock my time, so I wasn't eating on stream when we started.
Likes to eat on the stream, and apparently I like to sleep on the stream. So that's so.
We're figuring it out slowly but surely.
Fine. All right. Well, that's all of my interview questions. So, does anybody have any questions that I didn't ask that you can think of?
Did we talk about Mew this weekend? Or
no, that's right. You did want to do that. I forgot to write that down. Sorry.
Yeah.
And so you know how the show was supposed to go. We were supposed to talk about this weekend stuff like that. We were at Mew this weekend. What was your favorite match for Mew there, Ethan? You got to announce for that event.
First night.
Yeah, I got to do night one. My favorite match. Honestly, it's a bit of a tie between Alexander Lee and Perry Von Vicious.
That was good.
And
really good.
One I was not expecting to be like, and this isn't a shot at either one of them. Like, I just thought it was going to be like a bit of a slugfest, but like I really and they took it a different direction. I really enjoyed it. It was JP and ZZP. Like that
really?
That one was really good. Like, I was watching it, I'm like, I thought it was going to be a brawl because ZZP likes to brawl and JP likes to do the hardcore stuff. But if he can't do hardcore, I can just see them just throwing fists. But I really enjoyed it. Like, both of those matches were fun.
That's good.
Alexander Lee and Perry, like Lee was going
oh yeah,
so quick and everything looked great. Like that, both those matches were the standouts for me.
And the funny thing is about both those matches too, you had I think JP actually wasn't happy with that match, even though everybody told him it was a good match. I don't know, maybe he didn't feel like he performed good enough for that match. And Alexander Lee thought he gave Perry Von Vicious a concussion within 5 minutes of the match.
Yeah,
so.
I saw the clip because I noticed Perry was kept checking his nose, and I'm like looking at his face. I'm like, is he bleeding? Like, did he just get popped? Because I thought he got just bopped in the nose.
Yeah.
But like, luckily, he was fine. From my understanding, he was fine.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, both matches were really good. They were really fun. Like, next time we're going to see JP at Whippy Pie Festival, so I'm going to tell him like that. I would love to see ZBP and JP like throw it back again. Like that was fun.
I haven't had a chance to see anything from that show, so I'm excited to see that.
Every time I fight ZPB, we end up in a slugfest. Like every time I fought him, it's like literally just we're throwing hands. We're just throwing as hard as we can at each other.
Real
And then
quick,
at the end, I'll be like, "Dude, we good?" And he's like, "Yeah, that was fun."
Real quick, because I just thought about it. I think I've asked you this on your Facebook page before, Ethan. But for the viewers on here, what is the your favorite match that you've ever announced, or the coolest match you've ever announced? Because I know the answer, or at least I knew the answer when I asked you last time. But I just thought that was the extra.
I forget what did I say? I forget.
I believe it was the Evil Uno. It was the Evil Uno announcement that you did.
Yeah, Evil Uno and Lindsay was fun. That was really fun because I could see out of the corner of my eye when I was announcing Uno, like he was playing into it too. Like when I announced his weight, he like hit his stomach. Like it was a lot of fun. It's also on Blitzkrieg. They did their ladder match. Oh, God, I forget what the actual title of it was called, but they had like a 5-way ladder match for the Bedlam Championship. And I thought Bobby Orlando fucking.
I
thought he died kind of like that belt did. Like that one, yeah, because like Kirby, it was when they were doing like Kirby wanted to be part of the Shook crew, but Bryce and Bobby hated him, and they're like, "No, you're just a dork." And you see someone come out in Bryce's jacket, and I think they had a hood up, and like they look like they're holding the ladder for Bobby, and Bobby's like, "Thanks, Bryce," and then he looks, and the hood's down, and it's Kirby. And Kirby's like, nope, and he lifts the ladder, and Bobby just falls.
Oh, Jesus.
Bobby Bobby died so many times that match. It was amazing. Such a good ladder match. A lot of those ladders were fucking broken. they were fucked beyond all repair at that point.
It's usually how a ladder match goes.
Yeah, dude, but like that ladder match, and then like Uno and Dorado was fun.
Like the ladder match at MPW where I thought everyone was gonna die.
Oh my God, that was so brutal. I hope that match comes up soon so we can watch it again. But I got the clips of the some of the clips, and I think it's funny. The first time meeting Bobby was at the Let's Show, not Let's Show, the Road, and when he was doing those stupid bumps in the road, I don't know if you remember the top rope to the floor where he bounced off the floor. Oh my gosh, it was so gross. He went through the chair. Like he was doing that spot for a while. He did it like in a few matches where he did the dive and or whatever. I can't remember, either splash or whatever, and went through the chair, like in the middle of the chair. But I don't know if anyone. I know you probably want to skedaddle, but so I'll be really quick there, Ethan. I don't know if anyone brought up like I know we're talking about favorite matches and stuff. You're talking about your favorite matches. One of my favorite matches still to this day was with you and Eric Johnson. That whole pop where there was the surprise that nobody knew that you were going to be the next contender against Eric, and everybody was hoping that you would win that match. It still like popped all of us. We had no idea. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. Just that match.
So,
really quick.
Fun fact: there's 4 people in that building that knew it was going to happen. Randy Carver.
That's
Eric
more
Johnson,
than I thought.
Ethan
that was
Scott and me.
Oh,
you
I
knew?
I knew. There's 5.
There's
Who's
5.
the 5th?
So you're right. It was you, Randy, Eric, myself, and Harry.
Oh, that's right.
Harry knew, and it was. Yep, we were the only 5 that knew that entire time, and it was great hearing everyone's reaction to everything, and also
everyone was on their feet.
Yes, but what's really funny, so like, if you see the footage, I'm wearing shorts, and I never wear shorts when I announce, even though I have monster calves, but I never wear shorts, and everyone thought that was weird, and after the announcement, I had to go out back, put on my wrestling shoes. And I'm like going through the match in my head. When I get back in the ring, like Eric brings me in and he's like calling out the whole crowd. When I start to strip my announcing gear because my singlet's on underneath, Davey Ann's off to the side and Davey Ann just goes like immediately. She's like, "What the fuck?" It was oh my God. That match is great.
One of my favorite Ethan Scott moments is the Rumble entrance, the Rumble entry. And the next entry in this Rumble is
Me.
I hate that I went. I hate that. That's the only part I hate is the me part. And when I smack myself in the head, I was such a weirdo back then. But like
Sorry,
that
it's just-
spot was
I go
great.
back. I unironically go back and watch that spot sometimes because I love it so much.
It was fun, and I love just the reaction of everybody because just Owen Brody just grabs me and just throws me out, and you see there's calm in the Rumble for just a couple seconds as MSP, the Syndicate, and I think Calvin Strange is in there too, just all kind of look and they're like, that just fucking happened? Is he okay? And if you listen, you hear Alexander Lee go, "You just hurt my friend," and he headbutts.
Yeah,
Owen Brody.
I watched that whole thing because it's even better that the fact that Alexander Lee just stood there and was like, "You just hurt my friend." What?
I landed ass first on the apron and I like bounced and I hit the floor. Because one of the fans like got the footage of me getting eliminated, sent it to me, and I died laughing. I'm like, I just hit the apron ass first.
One of my favorite Ethan Scott moments has to be the ultimate Ethan Scott.
Oh my god, that was that match was great. That match was so great. Like I couldn't not have been blessed more with like better people to be in that match with because like everybody in there like made sure I was taken care of and everything went smoothly. Like that stunner I did to Brett, I've only done 2 stunners. Once to Eric and once to Brett. And the Brett one like blows the first one out of the water because it was so smooth and like just quick and fluid. I love watching that clip because I'm like, that's the coolest thing I've ever done was that fucking stunner.
Sorry, I'm still trying to find. Like, I'm trying to remember what season of the road it was on. I'm going through each one. I'm like, where the fuck is it? I know it's
on YouTube. If you look up Eric Johnson versus Love Dog, I'm like the bonus at the very end.
Yeah,
because Love Dog was number 12. Funny enough, I'm number 13. I was in the first Let's Rumble. I'm also entrant number 13 because 13 is my lucky number, or it's guess unlucky because anytime it gets brought up in wrestling.
Lucky. Maybe it's your lucky number outside of wrestling, but maybe you should avoid the number 13.
I was 13 when I got like the Tommy Dreamer shirt, and that's why I've always liked the number 13.
Or just make it your gimmick. Just have 13 all over yourself.
I wanted to get
all right there, Taz.
Good God, the fucking I didn't have my goatee. My hair was wicked short.
This was
4
years ago.
Oh my God!
4 years ago.
My God.
The uncrowned Limitless.
So
I missed that better.
No, I'm actually sitting in the building right now. I'm sitting over by the table, like where Cora sat, with Dave Dyer.
Wants to be number 14.
I was in the middle of taking a shit, and I came back, and I was wondering why everybody was freaking out, and then I saw, oh my God, Ethan's in the ring!
I was in the middle of taking the most massive shit of my life, and then I came out, and Ethan was in the ring, and I was like,
I was wondering why everyone's popping. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And I look like, oh, Ethan's taking on Eric Johnson. Holy shit!
He was like 5
Look at
minutes.
Davey S reaction kills me every time.
5 minutes behind everyone else.
Like you'll see me in the corner soon, like I'm like, what the fuck?
You big son of a bitch! God damn it, this
There's Jess.
There's Jess. There's Tyree Taylor. Oh my God!
I haven't seen Tyree forever.
I still have that. Well, obviously, I saw that singlet because I wore it during the tag.
Another good match. Fuck you, fat boy!
CJ Cruz in the background.
Yeah.
Dude, CJ was so into this match.
CJ, Alexander Lee, and Tyree Taylor, if you look at them, they're fucking hilarious.
You gotta make that our
There I'm in the corner right there like, oh, this is happening.
I want that as my sub sound on Twitch. Fuck you, fat boy!
Oh, no.
Ethan Scott just dropped with that clothesline.
Oh, that Eric Larry down the corner sucks.
You know what?
I don't know. That one seemed nice. I've seen it. I've felt it suck before. That one seemed a
That's what
little
I'm saying.
nice.
It can suck.
I was
Bringing each
terrified
back to his
to
feet.
take this at first, but then once it got explained,
Come on
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like-
think I explained it to you. So I was like, 'cause I've taken it.
It's no different than taking a power slam. He just sits out with it.
And yeah, it's over.
Wow. Fun fact, you know, everybody probably didn't know, probably didn't watch this. I'm the only one that's ever kicked out of that.
Oh,
oh,
I kicked out of it in the
Deserted Dojo.
Desert Dodo match.
Nice, nice.
that
And
was
you're sure you're the only person that's ever kicked out of it?
Well, that's why I'm the only person that I ever kicked out of it because nobody fucking knows about that match.
that match was wild.
That
Like,
match was wild.
When he got you up for it, I was scared because I'm like, that's a lot of big cat up in the air on Eric's shoulders and drops.
Dude, I
him.
love
Oh,
when
the
you wrestle
Dominator
Eric.
or the
Oh yeah, the dominant. Oh my god, the
I love when you
Dominator.
wrestle Eric for that exact reason because you guys go like big man, but then there's always that one spot where he lifts you like the crown. You guys stole the crown show and you were
Oh my
opening
God.
fucking match. The
That was-
crown match when you were up on the buckle and he fucking walked over and grabbed you and walked out with the Dominator. The whole locker room erupted because you
yeah.
got dropped so nicely with the Dominator. We were all like, "What the fuck?"
Was that the show we took on Hyper Pretend?
Yeah, that was the
Okay.
first crown, my first and only
Yeah.
crown show.
Yeah, that match was so good and still so fucking funny. Yeah, like I didn't know how great it was until I came out back where you guys talking about it. Like I felt it was doing good, but like how everyone in the locker room was on their feet, like going like, "Oh shit, that
No,
was
it was
fucking
so
awesome."
good,
Dude.
Eric coming back through the curtain goes, "Follow that, bitches."
He literally did. He walked back and he was like, "Follow that, bitches," and they just walked over and started taking his shit off, and we were all
Dude.
like, "Fuck."
I've always said it this way: if you can go back into the locker room after your match and the boys are looking at you going, either you're fucking insane or that was fucking great, you know you did something good. In fact, Levi and I can attest to this. The entire New York crew looked at us and went, "You guys are fucking idiots."
No,
that
it
was
wasn't just
awesome.
the New York crew. It was everybody. We
Yeah.
took the concrete suplex and walked out back, and fucking everybody that walked over to us was like, "You are fucking insane." But that was cool.
The Let's match with the
Yes,
you and
that was
and-
cool.
yeah,
Oh my god.
that was
Our
fucking
first
stupid. I
match.
looked at you guys and said that was fucking
Our first
stupid.
match, by the time we got back, everybody that walked by us looked at us and was like, "That was fucking stupid," but that was cool. And then just left.
Fucking-
Randy was even like, "That match was real. That match was good. Minus the concrete suplex, there was no fucking reason for that." He was like,
That was it.
"But it was so cool."
That was Amber and Jossie. That was their call.
Oh,
You and
yeah,
I were
look
like,
at this. If you've never
"Purr?"
seen this,
I think I have seen this.
bang!
Bro.
Oh, the ref even jumped for it. I love that little touch.
It was so good, dude.